One Gospel, version 2, part 124, Jesus is crucified. Matthew 27:31 through 50, Mark 15:20 through 37, Luke 23:26 through 46, John 19:16 through 30. And they took Yeshua, and they led him away to crucify him. And bearing his cross he went forth. And as they came forth, they found and laid hold on a man passing by, coming from the country, a certain Cyrenian, Shimon by name, the father of Alexander and Rufus. They compelled him to bear his cross. They put the cross on him, to bear it behind Yeshua. And following him was a great multitude of people and women, who also bewailed and lamented him. And Yeshua, turning to them, said, Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. For behold, the days are coming in which they shall say, Blessed are the barren and the wombs that never bore, and the breasts which never nursed. Then they shall begin to say to the mountains, Fall on us, and to the hills, Cover us. For if they do these things with the wood moist, what shall happen with the dry? And there were also 2 other criminals led with him to be put to death. And when they had come to the place that is called in Hebrew Golgotha, that is translated as a place of a skull, they gave him vinegar mingled with gall to drink. And when he had tasted of it, he would not drink. And they gave him wine mingled with myrrh to drink, but he did not receive it. And they crucified him there, and the 2 criminals with him, one on either side, one on the right hand, and one on the left, and Yeshua in the middle. And Yeshua said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. And Pilate wrote a title and put it on the cross, and the writing was, Yeshua of Nazareth, the King of the Yehud. Then many of the Yehud read this title, because the place where Yeshua was crucified was near the city, and it was written in Hebrew, Greek, and Latin. Then the chief priests of the Yehud said to Pilate, Do not write, the King of the Yehud, but that he said, I am King of the Yehud. Pilate answered, What I have written, I have written. Then the soldiers, when they had crucified Yeshua, took and divided his garments, and made 4 parts, to each soldier a part, and also the tunic. And the tunic was seamless, woven from the top in one piece. Therefore they said among themselves, Let us not divide it, but cast lots for it, whose it shall be, and what each may take, so that the scripture might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet. They divided my garments among themselves, and they cast lots over my clothing. Therefore the soldiers did these things. And it was the 3rd hour, and they crucified him. And sitting down they watched him there, and they put up over his head the superscription of his written accusation, written above, This is Yeshua, the King of the Yehud. And then they crucified 2 thieves with him, one on his right hand and the other one on his left. And the scripture was fulfilled which says, And he was numbered with the lawless. And by the cross of Yeshua there stood his mother, and his mother's sister, Miriam, the wife of Clophas, and Miriam from Magdala. Then Yeshua saw his mother, and the disciple whom he loved, standing by, and he said to his mother, Woman, behold your son. Then he said to the disciple, Behold your mother. And from that hour that disciple took her to his own home. And those who passed by spoke evil about him, shaking their heads and saying, Ah, you who destroys the temple and builds it in 3 days, save yourself. And if you are the Son of God, come down from the cross. And the people stood looking on. And likewise the rulers with them and the chief priests also mocked and sneered with one another, with the scribes and elders, saying, He saved others, he cannot save himself. Let him save himself if he is the Messiah, the chosen of God. If he is the King of Israel, let him come down from the cross now, so that we may see and believe him. He trusted in God. Let him deliver him now, if he wills it for him. For he said, I am the Son of God. And the soldiers also mocked him, coming to him and offering him vinegar, and saying, If you're the king of Yahud, save yourself. And a superscription was also written over him in letters of Greek and Latin and Hebrew, This is the king of the Yahud. And the thieves also, those who were crucified with him, reviled him. And one of the criminals who was hanging reviled him, saying, If you are the Messiah, save yourself and us. And the other answering rebuked him, saying, Do you not even fear God, since you are under the same judgment? And we indeed justly, for we receive the thing worthy of what we did. But this one has done nothing wrong. And he said to Yeshua, Lord, remember me when you come in your kingdom. And Yeshua said to him, Truly I say to you, today you shall be with me in the paradise. And when it was about the 6th hour, darkness came over all the whole land until the 9th hour. And the sun was darkened, and the veil of the temple was split in the middle. And at about the 9th hour, Yeshua cried with a loud voice, saying, Elohi, Elohi, lama sabachthani. That is translated as, my God, why have you forsaken me? After this, Yeshua, knowing that all things have now been finished, that the scripture may be fulfilled, said, I thirst. And some of those standing by there, when they heard, said, Behold, this one is calling for Eliyahu. Now a vessel full of vinegar was sitting there, and immediately one of them ran, and they took a sponge, filled it with vinegar, and put it on a hyssop reed, and put it to his mouth, and gave it to him to drink. And the rest said, Leave him alone. Let us see if Eliyahu will come to take him down and to save him. Then when Yeshua had received the vinegar, he said, It is finished. And Yeshua cried again with a loud voice, saying, Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. And having said this, bowing his head, he gave up and breathed out the spirit.